Forbes India, We Serve India Season 2, presented by Lions Clubs International.
Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome. They don't wait for change, they create it. In the fields, forests, classrooms and corners of Bharat, most people never see. They are the ones uplifting communities with nothing but resilience, vision and this sense of service. This is their platform. This is their movement. Welcome viewers to Forbes India, We Serve India Season 2, presented by the Lions Clubs International. Today, we kick off a campaign that's about recognizing those who make a change and sparking a revolution powered by service. Season 1 celebrated 150 plus grassroots changemakers from waste warriors to wildlife guardians. 12 were honored at a grand national finale, their voices amplified by Lions Clubs International and Forbes India. Season 2 picks up the baton with greater ambition. With the United Nations declaring 2025 the year of cooperatives, glaciers preservation and humanitarian action for children, the main objective of the second season is to align Bharat's grassroots champions with the priorities of UN's Global Developmental Mission. Now, we spotlight collaborative communities fighting poverty, guardians healing our planet, innovators democratizing access, and women weaving legacies of change. At its heart is Lions Clubs International, a century-old force of 1.4 million servants partnering with Forbes India to honor the heroes and light their paths forward. To guide us on this journey, we have a leader whose life embodies the motto, "We serve." Viewers, please welcome the International President of Lions Clubs International, Mr. Arvinder Pal Singh. Arvinder Pal Singh ji, namaste. Thank you for your time. My first question, Lions Clubs International has been serving humanity, Bharat, since 1956, if my memory serves me right. And today, as crises multiply, like climate change, we've got rising inequality or resource inequality and digital divides. How has social service transformed beyond charity? What are some of the key trends that you're witnessing?
So first of all, as a service club organization, we are not a charity giving or a charity receiving organization only. We do need funds for any kind of service that we need to provide to our communities. Without funding, it cannot happen. So funding is just one part of this service. Service is larger than just pure, simple charity. And the change that is taking place in this entire system of providing service and reaching out service to our communities, I would like to mention it in three different buckets. Number one, it's now more about empowering people, making their capacities higher, empowering them so that they can really take care of themselves. They can come out of poverty, for example. They can be eradicated out of that situation where they have been suffering. So it's not just reaching out the fish to them, it's also teaching them how to fish. The second part is that today, institutional funding, philanthropy at the institutional level, that's becoming extremely important. And third is, it's working together. Today, using or leveraging the core strengths of other organizations for partnerships and collaborative efforts, that is becoming one of the keys to success for community service in an organization like ours.
Mr. Singh, reports indicate, and these are recent studies, that Bharat requires about $170 billion a year to achieve the UN-mandated SDGs by 2030. Now, what aspect of social development must accelerate to bridge that gap?
SDGs is not something which belongs to the United Nations or to some large conventions or seminars or big meetings that we hold, that we have discussions on them, we put figures, we put years to them. SDGs is something which is important for humanity. SDGs are something which are important for the people of the entire planet. We need to reach out this message to every part of our country, to every citizen, that each of these goals is about making life better for our own people. It's about improving the safety, security, and the quality of life. It's about ensuring the endurability and the sustainability of the entire planet. it's issues like these that are involved. Once this information that needs to go out is really sent out to every individual, and then they understand that certain initiatives which are being coined and which are being promoted by the organization, they are in sync with the global plan of improving things in every part of the world, then we will become more powerful. We will really be able to see the impact that we are really looking forward to.
Mr. Singh, on behalf of Network 18 and Forbes India, I must thank you for partnering with us. This is the second season of We Serve India. But if we look back at season one, what are some of the key takeaways and learnings for you?
One of the most important things is that when we talk of community service, generally, we talk of some very important verticals like, fighting hunger. We're talking of environment. We are talking of global warming. But there is so much more deeper work to be done. In WSI1, I call it the We Serve India, the season one, what we really noticed is that the winners came from various different fields where they were working. They are important, they are crucial, they are critical. They really make an impact. There was one woman who came from one of the tribal areas, and it's about promoting the crafts of the tribal areas. There was somebody else who was working with the children of the sex workers. There was yet another somebody who was working so closely with the preservation of wildlife and the biodiversity in our forests. Now, when we talk of climate, that's very important. Unless we address issues comprehensively, we will not be able to see the impact. I continue to repeat that. So the first season really opened out the entire chapter before us and before the people of the country that we need individuals, organizations like our Lions Clubs to take care of all these issues comprehensively, not just what appeared to be on the superficial level or just on the top of it as to be the big issues. There's a lot below that. And unless those that are below that are dealt with, we will not be able to be experiencing the impact that we need to.
Change has to happen at the grassroots, across levels of society is something that you've also underlined. Now, there are a lot of other UN SDGs also where we need to tick a lot of boxes. For you going into season two, what would you want to align We Serve India season two with? What kind of objectives do you think we should be working together, partnering together to try and achieve or help achieve?
Well, the core areas where we could, focus, definitely, fighting hunger and poverty, they're almost together. That needs to be addressed. The second one is education and empowerment of the youth. Basically, what I said in the first and the second, they're actually two sides of the same coin. You can't fight poverty on a long-term basis and provide a full-fledged cure and get people out above the poverty line unless you empower them and educate them. You empower them, educate them, you make them capable of earning the livelihood, you give them those skills, all of that will happen automatically. And the third, of course, is preservation of the planet. And when we talk of glaciers, there's so much required to be done, even by individuals, smaller organizations in their own cities, in their own towns, about preserving the climate, about respecting Mother Nature. That respect for Mother Nature has to be involved and ingrained in the minds of the people. And then those larger programs will become a reality. So these are issues that need to be tackled. And if through We Serve India season 2, we can highlight some of the good initiatives of certain individuals, other organizations in India in these fields, that I believe would be wonderful.
All right, time for a very, very short break. The conversation continues on the other side. Stay tuned.
Forbes India, We Serve India Season 2, presented by Lions Clubs International.
Back on Forbes India, We Serve India Season 2, presented by Lions Clubs International, and we're in conversation with Mr. Arvinder Pal Singh. Women of Promise is another key tent pole of Season 2, We Serve India campaign Season 2. How will this enrich, focusing on women empowerment and, of course, celebrating women of promise?
When we don't involve women, and we don't open out the opportunities for them, and we don't give them space in positions of leadership and positions of responsibility, we are basically excluding 50% of the human population. Now, how is this ever acceptable? We do understand that it has happened in the past, and that was a big mistake wherever it's happened. And in every part of the world, we have seen that this has happened, not only in India, rather, in India and in South Asian countries, I believe we've had more women come up in positions of leadership than what we have seen even in the West. And that's quite a paradoxical way of looking at things, but that's the reality. So we need to encourage, we need to open out the space for them. We need to tell them that positions of leadership belong as much to women as to men, and they have a different mindset. They have a different way of looking at things. They have a different approach. So when men and women work together, that's the comprehensive way of the entire human race working together. So we are encouraging it. We believe this is the way to go. Women have so much to offer, and we need to involve women in every manner possible.
Let me pinch this from you, Mr. Singh. WSI Season 2, how is it going to highlight the real grassroots champions, especially amplification, their visibility? How do you envision it?
You see, they are what we call the everyday heroes. They are the individuals who are working at the grassroots. They understand the reality. They go down to the people where service is really required. They understand the challenges. They resolve local issues. They evolve local solutions, sometimes with the Indian Jugaad technology as well. They are geniuses of social service. They really come up with such ideas that are absolutely brilliant, but their ideas remain limited to the local areas where they have worked. We need to recognize them, number one, and number two, others need to learn from them. Once this learning is reciprocal, we all need to learn from each other. So We Serve India is going to become a platform where we learn of these great experiences from these individuals, many of them who may not have been recognized or heard or been exposed to the national media or on a channel like yours. So we want to give them that exposure. Firstly, they deserve it. And secondly, the people of the country need it.
So, this entire plan for regional workshops, Mr. Singh, does it align with this objective to try and make these change makers more visible, or is there more to it too?
Of course, it does. And let me just explain, because our viewers may not know which regional workshops we are talking of. What we are planning along with Network 18 is that each time we have this event where we would be providing the recognition and, awarding the winners of We Serve India Season 2, before that session starts, we would have a couple of hours for workshop where the lion leaders of that area, wherever this event is being held, would assemble and listen to how these individuals made the difference. Listen to their stories from the inspirational point of view, very importantly, also from the administrative planning, conceptualization, and actually working on the ground realities from that perspective as well, so that the learning becomes truly 360 degrees, so that our Lions clubs can then choose which other programs which they believe that they have the capacity within the clubs to continue to follow, to continue to also adopt and execute in different parts of the country. Otherwise, events like this definitely do a great job, play a great role. We recognize people and the story stops there. The story should not stop there. We believe through We Serve India Season 2, the story begins there. Our clubs, our volunteers, 280,000 Lions volunteers around the entire country, and the people of this country, through your channel, learn from these experiences, and we try to implement those success stories wherever we are, depending on the capacities that we have.
Let's take this forward, Mr. Singh. Target impact, youth, our demographic dividend as a country, most potent force, very vibrant. How can they and corporate India come together to try and take forward this aspect of service or seva, which is very integral to We Serve India?
India is the rising power. India is an emerging force. It's a force of love, compassion, and development. That is what India truly represents. The youth is already playing a great role. In fact, it's been driven by the youth. It's been driven by the generations, which I call the GOAT generation, the greatest of all times generation, the generation of the last that's taking charge of things in the last 10 to 15 to 20 years. That generation's really driving it. I'm extremely bullish when people sometimes say that people of this generation do not have the time to engage in programs of community service and all. I totally disagree with them. My personal experience and Lions Clubs International's experience and the Lions in India's experience has been that the youth are 100% interested. They want to see the results. They want to see the impact. They want to see the bottom line of their funding, of their time, of their resources, and of their talent, which they are bringing forward to. The only difference is that they just won't want to be parts of organizations that talk, that have good principles. They want to be part of organizations that can actually execute and actually make a difference. So I even keep requesting my friends in Lions, we want the best of minds. We want the tomorrow's leaders. We want those who are going to run the country tomorrow. Why only tomorrow? They're running it even today. We want them, and they're a part of this organization. We need to be an organization that truly continues to create impact. Youth is 100% committed. At least our Indian youth, definitely committed.
But Mr. Singh, how will the efforts and solutions that are shaped in Bharat influence Lions Club's international strategy and approach? You're now its international president, so let's take a worldview from you.
I am a product of the Indian system. I am the product of the Indian psyche. I am a Sikh as you see me. Seva is something which is part and parcel of our lifestyle, which is I have learned, from day one, ever since I was born. Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam is written, flows, that concept flows to our veins. So when I became active in Lions and whenever I've got these opportunities, and today I work in have this office in Lions International, definitely I try to bring those values. So even while bringing those values to the Lions of the world, according to me, leadership and service in an organization like ours is the same thing. They are not two different things. There's nothing called leadership different from service. They are both two sides of the same coin. When they merge, they create the ideal situation that truly produces that impact.
Fantastic. The last two questions, and let's gaze into the crystal ball and set some goals for us for the future. What for you would be the kind of outcomes that you're looking for that would underline and say, this was a successful We Serve India Season 2?
So first of all, let me also tell you that this year, I have personally challenged and requested every Lions Club in the world, not only in India, all of 50,000 Lions Clubs to choose at least 2 SDGs on which they would focus. This is being done at the district level. The district governors, we have 756 district governors. They are choosing, helping the clubs and coming to a decision. These 2 SDGs would be our focus area. And they could be different. They could be as per their preferences. They could be as per their needs. So in India also, we would be focusing on the SDGs of choice of our local leaders, because the needs and the requirements in different parts of the country may be different, and individuals may have a different preference, and we need to continue to respect that. I believe involvement of volunteer leadership, individuals like members of Lions Clubs, there are other organizations as well, who are ready to give their time, their talent, their treasure, bring in all the resources in development of the country and creating the power of Bharat, the Bharat as we envision, the Bharat that we believe needs to reclaim its place among the Committee of Nations for the love, compassion, and developmental work that it's always been known about. I think we need to involve the people, and our people are getting involved. I see it as a reality in the making.
Oh, phenomenal. And I think a lot of our viewers would echo that sentiment, Mr. Singh. My final question to you, how do you see the We Serve India campaign evolving in the near to medium term?
I mean, this is, we've had a learning from the We Serve India campaign one, the season one. This is the season two. We will have some learnings here as well. We'll take it to the next level. We could go out, span out even further. I've been talking to you and your team in Network 18. How do we span out to the northeastern regions? How do we span out to Ladakh? Do we span out to the far-flung corners of the country? Because India resides in the big cities, but India also resides in the most far-flung corners of the country. India is a large country. We need to get everybody on. So there's so much to be done. There will always be so much to be done. So learnings from season two will tell us and help us carve the pathway for the season three. And each one a better one, each one a more deeper one, each one where we'll penetrate more into the needs and the opportunities that offer volunteer leaders like the members of the Lions Clubs and other organizations in the country to continue to build that Bharat. So that learning will continue.
Here, if I may say. And so it begins. Season 2 of Forbes India, We Serve India, presented by Lions Clubs International. It's about envisioning the future of Bharat, built up from its roots by changemakers who will not only be celebrated by the campaign, but scaled up through mentorship, storytelling, and grand regional and national events. Our deepest gratitude and thanks to Mr. Arvinder Pal Singh for giving us his time and also reminding us that service isn't a campaign but a legacy of building change. Because when Bharat serves, Bharat truly shines. Thank you for watching.
Forbes India, We Serve India Season 2, presented by Lions Clubs International.